Heidi Lush, Executive Editor at Hub Culture, and it's Davos. It is 2026, and I am back with Dr. Aldo Faisal. How are you?
Heidi, good to be here.
Nice to
great.
see you.
Yeah.
So, Professor of AI at Imperial College and University of Bayreuth in Germany. So, I want to talk about health, artificial intelligence and health across vast parts of the world. Hospitals and researchers are sitting on enormous amounts of patient data, but we know it's very fragmented, locked away, and underused. Before we get into what you're doing, set the scene for me.
Well, we all know that AI gets better the more data it has to learn from. And if you have a rare disease, and there are 7,000 rare diseases, there are more people suffering from rare diseases than big diseases, actually. If you don't have large amounts of data, you cannot learn anything about that disease with your AI. So while we have tons of puddles with little bits of data, what we want to create is an AI that can digest these different bits of data puddles and create a knowledge lake that brings this knowledge that we can harness from these puddles together and make it available for humanity.
As somebody living with a rare disease, I would be delighted. So please get on with it. So tell me what Nightingale AI is doing and what it makes, what becomes possible when you unlock what's in that data at scale.
Absolutely. So Nightingale AI is a foundation model, like we know ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is a bit like a literature student who knows how to read, has read loads of text, and then say reads a medical textbook, and then can answer you questions about medicine based on the textbook it read. That's not what a medical doctor is.
Right.
They've practiced medicine, they've seen the blood pressure, the x-rays, all this data, and they can reason about medicine not as a linguist, but as a physiologist. And so we're building Nightingale AI as a foundation model that learns not from text, but from all the other medical data that's out there to reason about medicine.
Interesting.
And so that's the platform that we're developing. And on top of that, you can then build tools and applications that can help benefit for patients. You can query it as an individual patient, what happens with me, what are my options that doctors can use, that pharma companies can use to design and guide drug discovery and drug development to target it for specific patients.
Interesting. So I wonder about trust. How do you build trust between patients, doctors, clinicians, when we all worry about who's making money from our personal data?
Absolutely. So Nightingale AI is designed as a neutral ground effort. We're leading it out of universities that are nonprofit by design. We're working with hospitals and partners that are, so to speak, also in this not-for-profit domain. And so by this design, we've already had tremendous responses from both the public, but also other healthcare providers starting to approach and say, hey, can we donate data to you? Can we work with you to benefit from this? And of course, we want to work with corporates, pharma companies, medtech, big tech. And the idea is that they can sponsor us to develop certain features that are interesting to them, but they're not becoming owners of the project, they're supporters of the project.
So talk about how a pharma would build some tools on top of what you're doing.
So Nightingale AI is a platform that can reason about medicine. And so now say you want to develop a new drug and you want to know how can I best, most cost efficiently and quickly get this new drug approved? How do I need to design a trial and identify the right patients groups to test this in the population and get this to market quicker, at lower cost and at lower financial risk. And then our Nightingale AI can say, hey, this isn't this what you need to look at, these are the trade-offs, and do it like that. And it will give you, out of its knowledge, a reasoning that no human can do because no human can absorb this amount of knowledge.
So talk about how a clinician who is a specialist in a rare disease, for example, would use Nightingale and what's different from what happens now.
So let's assume you have a rare genetic disorder that affects part of your heart function. And there are not many people, say 1 in 7,000 has that, so there are a few dozen people in your city maybe. And so the doctors are not exposed to a lot of data about that. And now you may also have diabetes. Now there are probably very few people that have that rare genetic disorder and diabetes on the planet. And there's a problem for you now because you just reason either for the patient about a diabetic or to have that rare disease. But what if you have these conditions together? And so in AI that has knowledge about all sorts of diseases and their interactions, because it looks at all this data together, can then give you advice in insights, logic, explain it to you, why certain things may work better than others.
So how is a patient going to be able to act differently with this?
That's really something I'm looking forward to. So what I actually already do, I collect all my medical and fitness and health data digitally.
Yep.
And then I want something to reason over it with reasonable competence. So I can print it all out and take it to my doctor, and then they will leaf through. Yeah, exactly. Or you would like to upload it into a system that then can reason over that. And one option that you have now is you can upload it to a corporate model. You don't really know what happens with the data, and it gives you advice like a linguist would that has read medical textbooks. So what we want is that once you have the Nightingale platform, you can say develop an app that is on your phone with your data that no one else sees, and then Nightingale reasons over your data and tells you what you need for yourself and what options you have.
I love that. I'm ready for that literally today. So we've got healthcare systems around the world that are really stretched financially. This sounds like it will help, but are there challenges in how it can be implemented at scale quickly?
So I think there are two folds of challenges. What type of data is available in different ecosystems? So in the US, you have high levels of digitization, of course, but it's very fragmented. Hospitals and doctors and GPs, specialists are all in separate economic competitors. In the UK, for example, we have a national healthcare system where all data is becoming flowing together cradle to grave. In Europe, they've now launched this European Health Data Space Initiative. So by 2029, all European healthcare data has to be accessible for research. So we see different speeds of how this data is coming together. So with Nightingale, we want to preempt what's happening in Europe, build on the data that we already have in Britain to rapid prototype in AI, and then as other countries are coming online, we can add their data. And we already signed an MOU with the US healthcare provider who wanted us to donate their data so we can build faster and better AI for them as well.
Fantastic. When can I use it? When can I sign up?
Well, as soon as possible. We have already made flagship status in the UK, so we're in Sovereign AI flagship. We received 1 million GPU hours to train the first version of Nightingale AI, and so we hope that over the coming months, as we're publishing results, scrutinized by clinicians, of course, we want to fulfill the highest standards. We're adding features, and as also partners come on board and we get corporate sponsors, we can rapidly expand the feature set we can offer.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Aldo,
Edie,
for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Chatting here at the Hub Culture Studio. I'm Edie Lash.